episode 43 of the Adornet podcast, a magnificent case of Cast-on-itis. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai and Adornet Steph on Instagram. So today, I'm so happy you're here to share this with me. We're experimenting with studio lights today. Ooh, studio lights. It sounds so professional. They're actually lights that I'm going to use for taking pictures in the shop, but I thought, hey, they can do double duty. Let's see how it is. And I think it's okay. I closed the curtain to get the light off me, like direct sunlight, so hopefully this works for you. Yeah, so show notes and everything. So today there's going to be a throwback project, a ton of new cast-ons, finished objects, a shop update, some new yarn, knit along news, and then what I have been reading and watching. So are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's do this. So first, I am wearing my Birds and Ships Cowl. Just a little small for me, if I'm being totally honest, but it is knit with probably my favorite color of Sunsoaked Yarns, which is the Hocus Pocus color. I think I've purchased it twice. No, pretty close to it, but it's great. It's this beautiful purple. This is her, I wrote it down because I want to get it right. This is her sparkle sock base. So it does have a little bit of sparkle in it. And I followed the pattern. I knitted on size 4s. And the pattern itself has a tassel here, which may help it lay a little bit flatter and look larger on a person's body. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I knit this in 2019. I used size 4 needles. I said that. I used 220 yards knitting according to pattern. So if I were to do this again, I would definitely either separate for the back, because the back, well, I don't want to take it off, but I would either separate for the back so that it laid a little flatter on me, or put increases in so it laid a little flatter before the ribbing, or make it just a little bit larger circumference so it had a bit more give to show off the beautiful lace pattern. So I had a half a skein left, 200 something yards, so I did a hat to match the cowl with the same pattern, and when I wear it, I just look so coordinated. I'm adorable. So yeah, that's it. That's what I have to say about this. So let's talk about all the new things. Okay, it's been like 2 weeks. Today is March 10 or 11. Yeah, I think it's been 2 weeks since we spoke, and let me tell you, I have been just like jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing. So I'm not gonna belabor it any longer than that. I'm just going to show you. I'm looking. I tried to lay things out over on Tristan's desk so that I would be a little more organized. So you know how I was talking about I wanted to do a design for leftover Desert Vista Dye Works yarn. So I started it. So here's what I have so far. It will be a cowl, about a 10-inch long cowl, so not too long. I'm knitting it with size, I think I wrote it down, 4s. This is her Jaws colorway, and I had what, 50 grams left over, less than 50 grams, and I did do a contrasting border here, but I'm thinking I won't need to, and I'll definitely have enough to finish the whole cowl. So I'm really excited. This is my leftover cowl. So again, thinking of the Desert Vista monthly knit along that I complete every month. I have a new pair of socks, and then I have a half a skein of leftover yarn. So this is my solution to that. And because it is a knit and design knit at the same time, there are things that are not exactly perfect in this that I wouldn't do again, but it's how I got it started, if that makes sense. So I'll knit another one just to test knit it before I get it going. But isn't it fun? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just plain, no patterning. You could add patterning, but for now, that's how this is. Yay! So, yeah, my other cowl design, I'm going to say this now and then I'll say it again later. I frogged it. I don't know how much of it I showed you, but it wasn't working for me, so gone. Today it's beautifully sunny in New Hampshire. I hope it is where you are. And my iced coffee is delicious and cool. So, here comes somebody. Hi.
I need this to be plugged in.
Okay, let's plug it in. Daddy, did you get a phone call?
Yeah.
Oh, let's turn this off. Next project, got dropped on the floor, is writing in my Keto bag. I love it. And that's our oversize. So it's a nice big bag, great for holding a blanket. So I am working on the Chevron baby blanket. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. If you put it in the search, Chevron blanket, it's the first one that comes up. That's how I found it. And there are something like 3,000 projects out of it. So it's very simple, you know, Chevron. But I am using Brand Mandala Ombre yarn in the colorway Zen, which is 217, so it's shades of green. This is for a coworker of Steve's that's having a baby boy in August. So I was gonna do a reddish gray blanket, then we found out it was a boy, and I said, oh, this green is beautiful. So we went this way. I'm using size 8 needles, and the yarn itself, it's really soft. It's 100% acrylic, and I got 3 skeins for $18. So very affordable baby gift. I'm planning to make them the blanket and then a matching hat. Maybe if I have enough yarn, 2 matching hats. But I bought 3 skeins, which comes out to roughly 1,000 yards. So I think I should be good to get a blanket and a hat, hopefully 2. I might buy a 4th skein just to get that hat. Because I know that, you know, the baby's head size when it's first born, and then a year later when it's cool enough again, when fall comes around again, it's going to need a completely different size hat. So we'll see. I am not wild about this rolling. Can you see it? And because this is acrylic, it's not going to block out, right? So the sides seem to be, as I'm going up, they're turning in as well. The pattern doesn't call for any sort of edging, so I might have to pick up around and do an I-cord bind off just to get it to lie flat. Although the edge looks like it's curling, like 1 stitch is curling in, and that's it. So that might be fine. Actually, I think that's fine because the patterning has a knit 2 together and a slip knit on the 2nd and 3rd and almost last 2 of every row. So soft. It's really soft. I hope they like it because I really like it. And I was going strong. That is 3 days of knitting. I cast it on and I was doing a color a day. That was my goal. And so 3 days, and I didn't quite finish the one I'm on. So 2.5 days of knitting. And then I got distracted by other things that wanted to be cast on because my dad asked me for a pair of worsted weight socks. And it's not like he's going to want to wear them in the summer. So he wants them now. And that baby blanket isn't really due until, let's say July, because the baby's due in August. So I swapped them around and I did cast on for my dad. But yeah, we could talk about that. So Tristan's sheep. Let's jump back to a couple days ago. I'm trying not to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. What is that saying? Don't let perfection be, I don't know. Trying not to let perfection lead to my inaction. So, happy St. Patrick's Day. Normally I don't record in the kitchen, but I've been waiting for a chance when it would be perfect to record, and I'm just not going to wait anymore. I'm going to record this segment because I'm about to do some frogging. So thought I would share these with you. This is a new cast on. This is Berroco Vintage, and it is a DK weight sock. Oh, that's a weird blip there. I am I followed the stitch count of the rye sock pattern, I believe. So Berroco Vintage, which is a DK/worsted weight yarn, I knit it on size 5s because I wanted a tighter sock gauge, and then I used size 3 on the cuff. I did a knit round alternated by a knit purl, a 2x2 rib round, so it's not fully ribbed, and I made sure that my knit round was the first one at the color change, so you didn't have those blips of color on the purl where the purl is on the front. So these may look like they go together because this is my empowerment cowl I knit around Thanksgiving of last year, and it is Fybernymph Dye Works Mountain Tweed. I love that yarn. Oh, Lisa, it's gorgeous. And so this is a little bit of the scraps. So let's see, can you see? Yeah, you see the difference in the yellows. So I had 2 repeats of the skein left after I finished this, and so I thought add them into these socks. So these socks came about because my dad asked me, he threw a pair of ankle, like 2-inch long leg, 2-inch long cuff, there we go. The leg itself was 2 inches, it was all cuff. He threw a pair of Patton's Croix socks that I had knit him way back at me and said, can I have some more of this weight? And I thought, well, he's asking for this because he's cold, and it's not really about the weight, it's more about getting a warmer sock than the traditional sock yarn, fingering weight sock yarn. So I came home, I looked in my stash, and I decided that Berroco Vintage, which is it's close to 50-50 wool nylon, it may be like 50-40-10 wool acrylic nylon. Either way, there's enough wool in it to make it warm, and the acrylic will be hard wearing, so I thought I might give him a pair of socks with this. My dad's favorite color is yellow, so that's why I picked yellow. I had a whole skein I'd never used. I think I bought it to do, I don't know, baby knitting, something. So I thought, I'll use up this skein of yellow. So enter this sock. It's on the needles, it's off the needles. The second one, I used up every last bit of the Into the World that I had, so you can see the striping there, and I'm just starting up the leg. So this morning I brought this over with me to my folks' house, and my dad tried it on and said, oh, I'd like it an inch longer, I think, because he plans to wear them in his boots occasionally. So he wanted them to be taller than his boots so the rim of the boot doesn't hit up against his leg. So I'm going to rip these back to here, do another inch. I'll probably just rip back, start going in the 2x2 pattern again, knit the rest of this yarn, then add on from what's left over in the skein and finish it. So yay, these are going. They're probably finished by the time you're watching this, and maybe future Stephanie will come in now and share them finished with you. So past Stephanie showed you the socks in progress. So I think I said they're Berroco Vintage, and I used just over 200 yards to complete these. Men's size 11 socks. Granted, they are shorter than your average pair, but they're long enough. So I think he's really gonna like these. He tried them on, he was happy with them, and I may just cast on another pair real quick and knit them up for him so he can alternate. One pair on, one pair in the laundry. So, yay! And excitedly, this is the Mountain Tweed Fybernymph Dye Works Mountain Tweed Merino DK yarn. And I used up every last inch of it. So, yay! That's exciting. And I worked on these while Tristan and I watched Three Musketeers, the 1991, 2, 3, somewhere in there, version with Chris O'Donnell. I had such a crush on him when that movie came out. Yeah, Tristan didn't want to watch it, and I told him, oh no, this is just like Princess Bride, you'll love it. And Roland didn't want to watch it either. He was off in the playroom doing video games, and every time there was a sword scene and some fighting, he'd come running in and watch that part, and then he'd go away. So I guess he knows what he likes, so that's good. That's very good, right? All right, the last thing I have that's new to you is this sock, which is mid-row. I'm sorry about that. This is for my monthly Desert Vista Dye Works knit along. So throughout the year, knit a pair of socks each month. Be entered to win. No, don't be entered. And then you win things. I'll link it below. Along with everything else I talk about will be linked below. And while I'm talking about it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe if you're watching and you've watched this far. So anyways, this is the Harry Potter series, and I'm not wild about it. Of course, giving it neon yellow as a contrast didn't make me like it anymore. I don't know how else to say that. It looks pretty-ish in the cake. This color, I think it was supposed to be more of a burgundy color. The tan color that it is a nice color, but it didn't knit up the way I expected it to. So that's the first time, no, that's the second time that this has happened in almost 3 years. 2 years. 3 years? 2 years. In 24 pairs. So I'm okay with that. Not everybody's perfect all the time, and these may be a completely one-of-a-kind pair. So the pattern is the Slip the Rainbow Socks by Gemma Bage. So there you have it. I am increasing for my heel. I'm going to do the Wendy Johnson heel that I always do. That's my go-to heel. And Slipping the Rainbow might have been a cuff down, and I converted it to toe up. Whatever, it's a stitch pattern. But I do like the way it looks. I am having fun doing it. And yeah, I got pretty far on this before something else distracted me. But you could see my little Harry. My Harry's on there. So, yay! That's going. The contrasting yellow is coming to you from this skein. I don't think I know I didn't realize I was buying a color block skein when I ordered this. So this is Desert Vista Dye Works logo colorway. I think it's the old logo, not the current colorway. But yeah, so it has color blocks, which would make it great for a shawl. But I'm more into heels, toes, and cuffs than I am into shawls these days. So I thought this yellow matched it up. It is almost exactly like it is the same yellow. So I'm knitting from that for the heel right now. So that's my DVD sock, which means my February DVD socks are done. Here they are. I prepped. I put them on needles and on blockers and everything. So this one, do I remember any details about it? Hometown Lights is the colorway, and I did contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs because that's what I like. I did this baby cable, just a 2x2 cable, around the top of the foot and then up the leg. Just gave me something interesting to do. Every 4 rounds I cabled and kept going with pearls, a couple pearls on either side of it, and that's it. Simple, right? Otherwise, it's a rib sock. I knit it for a size 10 foot. So, were these done? They weren't done. I think I was close to done last time we talked. Because if I remember right, I needed every day to finish these. February's kind of challenging. Who said we needed a month with only 28 days? So that was my second finished object. 2 pairs of socks this week. And now, let's talk about... I'm in the sun. Go bye, sun. Okay, sorry. Let us talk about... Let's do a shop update. Okay, ready? Here. So what's new in the Adornet shop? Let's check it out. First, we're talking project bags. Mom has been busy sewing away. These are our Yeti bags. So these are exclusive fabrics that we've had done. with watercolor paintings of yetis and trees and bears. Oh my. And all the bags have contrasting bottoms. Next are the llamas, the knitting llamas making scarves. You can see there's a llama zipper pull and the polka dots inside. The hearts that were ever so popular before are back, knitted heart fabric. These are available in our equator size, along with matching notions. The birch trees with woodpeckers are available in our giant sweater Everest size bags. And then these are one of a kind, never to be repeated. So we've made them up and we hope they'll find a good home. These are Mom's favorite, the two-tone red with mandala fabric. And then I was so inspired by the fabric that I decided to make stitch markers to match. So sometimes you find inspiration in places you weren't really looking for it. So I did do two different designs, one that's rose gold and one that's teal and red. And because we were feeling so inspired, here we have a two-tone bag available in our equator size. And I love the color so much. Look at that interior. Oh, so pretty. That I made two different matching sets to go with that. So first there is the green flower with the green heart, or you have the choice of the blue flower with the green butterfly. So those are available in the shop. Moving on to stitch markers. Don't talk to me, I'm counting. Something we've all said. Available in two different color options. Sherlock Holmes finally has arrived in the shop. For this, we were really inspired by the monochromatic wallpaper. In WandaVision, have you been watching? I know it's all done, but we wanted to include a mighty superhero female as well in the shop. Next, we have the Big Apple, inspired by the lights of the city at night. Lots of different choices for progress markers. And then the adorable taxi is the beginning of round marker in that set. We're a little late to the Mardi Gras. Sorry, folks. Anyways, that's all we've got for right now. So far in March. Happy spring. Enjoy your knitting. And thanks for watching. I participate in the Crafty Bingo, which is hosted by Erin from She Must Knit podcast. And this is my third year participating in it. I have not completed my square to be a full-on blackout, but I am trying very hard this year to get a blackout. So part of achieving goals is measuring your progress as you go and making changes as needed. So for this, I am kind of checking in with you guys every month. At the end of the month, I'm looking at my progress, reevaluating where I need to change and tweak to hit the goals that I've set for myself. So I'm just going to run through the month of February, what items on the card that I created of 24 different goals I completed or worked towards. So the first one, I completed, so a scrappy project was one of them. So that's completed, check, done. I finished all those scrappy hats. 10 dishcloths during pigskin party. I got 5 done. So that's good. I will get the other 5 done this fall. Perfect. 5 patterns queued before 2021. I went back to 2014 and pulled out the Twigs and Willows fingerless mitts that I knit for a friend. Those were queued in 2014 and I've had the book since then. So it's good to get that knit up and feel like I used something from my library. Q1, knit 3 pairs of socks. So I finished February, check, done. And March is well on its way for the DVD socks specifically. Frog 5 UFOs. So, okay. So, I frogged the, I already mentioned it, the first design cowl. Actually, there are two versions. I frogged both of them, but I'm only counting it as one project. Yeah, of the cowl. And then I frogged the Advent Gnome I had started during December. It was a super fun knit along. Like, I enjoyed getting the emails every day. I would definitely recommend doing it next year if Sarah, I'll put her name, if she offers it up again. She is the queen of gnomes, and I've loved every one I knit, but this one I did not love my color choices. So frog that. I may go back and knit it, I may not. And the third thing, last year during the pigskin party knit along, I cast on with some Sunsoaked Yarns, the pigskin party colorway. I used her exclusive product during one of the interception challenges. I think it was November. I'm not sure which one it was, but I was doing the Hayride cowl by Hoki Locatelli, and my pairings, it just wasn't turning out the way I wanted. And I'd mentioned that if you've been watching for a while, you've seen me talk about it, that I wasn't thrilled with the way it was coming out. So that yarn was way too pretty to leave just shoved in a bag being ignored. So I will use that again soon for something else. So I got 3 projects out of the 5 I wanted to frog for the year frogged. So hopefully I'll get in the cupboard and find a couple more to frog and make space or finish a frog, right? Always looking to do that. And then my big goal is to knit 12,000 yards during the year of 2021, which breaks down to 1,000 a month. So conveniently, for February, I knit 1,070 yards. So I am still on track for hitting that goal. So happy. Should we talk about new yarn? Okay, first, I don't know what came over me, but this is Grundle. That sounds like a dirty word. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Hot socks. So this yarn is one of those perfect pairs that you knit it and they come out looking the same. And I've never knit with this yarn. I wanted to give it a try. Of course, it's a teal color. I love teal. And I want to knit my mom some more heavier weight workhorse yarn socks. I want to shift her away from the Desert Vista and towards more of a toothy German workhorse yarn. So I got this, thinking of her / me. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I can't wait to get this on my needles. Been kind of, yeah,
I'm going.
good. Have a good run. Bye. I've been kind of pushing myself to finish off something, any sock that I have on the needles, because I usually have 5 or 6 just hanging about to finish something so that I can use that, which is part of why I ended up frogging things, because I was looking for some needles, but I am waiting. The other new yarn I have, don't spoiler alert. So if you are in the Freckled Whimsy Fun with Friends mini skein club and you have not opened your package, because sometimes I get the packages and I don't open them right away. Maybe you do that too. Like I hold them until I need a pick me up. I can hear Tristan out there. Anyways, so look away if you haven't seen it. I mean, yeah, if you haven't seen it. So this is the March 21 color. Why do I think it has something to do with toast? Cinnamon toast, marmalade, blueberry pie, macaroon, and buttered popcorn. So I love it. The purpose of this club is to have coordinating mini skeins, because while I love mini skein projects, I am not good at putting things together. So the fact that these are all laid out, here's the way to knit them. I mean, you don't have to, but she's put the time and energy into figuring out how they coordinate and look nice, and they're speckled. I think the speckled was why I wanted it. but they're not all, 2 of them are tonal and 3 of them are speckled. So they are just beautiful. So I am super pleased with this. I don't know what I'm going to make. Probably a cowl, because I love knitting cowls. So that's new yarn. The next thing, I guess we're going into what I've been watching, reading, whatever, family stuff. I want to mention something that is completely off topic and maybe a little weird, right? So, but I'm going to share it just because. I have 2 sons. They are 6 and 9. And my 9-year-old is growing like a weed. And every day I look at him and I think, oh my God, he's turning into a little man. And so what happens on the way to becoming a little man? You go through puberty. I've never been through boy puberty. I don't know what happens. So I found this book. It is Guy Stuff, The Body Book for Boys by Dr. Kara Natterson. I got it off of Amazon. It is awesome. It's funny, kind of comic booky. I'm not going to show you too much. It explains what's going to happen. And in a not gross way, I don't know how else to say it, in a very approachable way. So there's body basics, like have a good attitude and body facts and heads up, how to care for your head hair, ears, eyes, mouth, braces, like just general maintenance for a body, which, you know, yeah, sure, I'm his mom and I've been teaching him these things, but maybe he has a question here or there. And then, you know, nutrition, how to eat healthy. And so it's not just like a puberty book, it has all this other stuff in it too. And then we get into big changes, so hormones and underwear. Recommendations on what to wear for underwear. I don't know about you, but I haven't really thought about boys' underwear or the reasons why things happen. And you know, yes, my boys have a father and they could ask Steve, but they don't. They come to me with their questions. And so I wanted to be up to knowledge on this. So I got this book thinking that Roland could read it and not be embarrassed. If he had questions he didn't want to talk to me about, he could go to this book. But you know, I sat on the couch one day and I read it front to back. And I, you know, was completely dumbfounded, had no idea this was a thing, that their chest, there's a whole chapter on how your chest will change. What? But apparently that's a part of the boy body development as they go through changes, puberty, becoming little men. So this was a great purchase. I have just left it out as like a coffee table book, and I know Roland has picked it up and read some of it when I wasn't around, which is fine. And when the day I did read it, I would just shout out interesting facts that I found along the way. So, you know, there's a section on acne, braces. We know about braces, but it's just a great book on personal hygiene, how to maintain yourself, what's going to happen, what does it mean when your body goes through all the changes. So it's good. And it's written in a really lighthearted way. I will say that too. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case you have little people approaching. And Amazon has it, or the book review has it rated from 9 to 14, I think. So I wasn't sure when puberty would start. So it's like, let's just get it and be open for the conversations. And when there's a chance, mommy will know what she's talking about. So there's that. What else is happening with us? I'm thinking, I'm doing yoga. Still going strong with yoga. I do Julia Marie. She is the instructor I follow on Amazon Prime. And I figured out, I did buy one series for like 15 bucks of her episodes, but she gives away so much. So between the 15 episodes I bought and all the free workouts out there, I have 90 different workouts with her. So I can I'll do each one 4 times a year. And like, it'll be a long time, 90, be a long time before I have to repeat. And I really enjoy her yoga, the way she teaches it. She does high impact, she does power core, she does restorative, and she does vinyasa, and just I think she does. I mean, I obviously don't know all the kinds of yoga there are, and she talks about it, but I'm usually busy breathing and half listening. But yeah, it's a great way to experience multiple styles of yoga and not feel locked in to a specific one. So that said, I did try another instructor on Prime that was not a good fit for me. So I need the upbeat teacher that's going to say, I'm happy you're here, okay. And Julia talks very real about what you're feeling. Like, yeah, I know, stay with the burn. Your legs are screaming, but it's, what does she say? It's impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. You can get through it. It's like, yeah, okay. It's a minute of doing, a chair squat. And like, yeah, it does hurt my bottom leg, but I can do this. So anyways, I still can't do a crow pose, but I did get really close to doing a bridge. So that's huge improvement for me. Also, Steve and I have gone back. There are cats at the door. Mr. Zem wanted to come in and see what was going on. The cat with the biggest feet you've ever seen. Biggest paws. Oh, he says, don't touch my feet, Mama. I don't like it. I don't like it. And he only purrs in the morning and at night. But he is a good boy. Yes. To Zem. So we'll see if he knocks things over or what sort of trouble he'll get into. But that's our boy. So I have been reading, I think I said all I wanted to say about yoga, right? I really enjoy Julia Marie. Oh, and Steve and I challenged him to a 30-day strict keto run. So he has never done keto, and obviously I've done it, and I've done dirty keto for like the last 2 years, so eating more processed food than ideally I would, but still keeping on the high fat, low carb bandwagon. And so we're gonna do clean keto, so that means, the eggs, avocado, nuts, what else? The burgers and hot dogs. Like for vegetarians, those are the good sources of protein and fat. So those are things that we eat pretty much every day. Oh, and loads of cheese. So yeah, we are on day 3, and I had to take a nap at 8 o'clock this morning because keto flu is a real thing. So, but he's doing great. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So we've been watching, let's see, in terms of a movie, Steve and I sat down last weekend and we watched Redcliffe, directed by, I want to say, John Woo. I feel like it was a famous director, which kind of perked my interest. Steve said that we had tried to watch this before and I didn't have the patience for it. So this is a subtitled movie. It's strategy war movie set in China in, I don't know, at the end of the Han Dynasty, and they're trying to unite the North and the South under one ruler, and there's a lot of influences of nature and figuring out which way the wind blows so that you can shoot your flaming arrows. There was just some really clever tactical stuff in the movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It felt epic. It felt like Saving Private Ryan or something of that magnitude. All live action, nothing computer generated, at least I don't think. But, it was interesting. I don't know. There was more to it than just let's go fight and storm. There were character developments and the wife and her backstory, and I enjoyed it. So if you think you have the patience for some subtitled movies, I encourage you to watch it. I also have been watching Resident Alien. I think, did I tell you that before? Well, I have. So it continues to be just cute, light, fluffy sci-fi. An alien lands on Earth and is kind of walking among us, camouflaged to look like one of us, and it's Alan Tudyk, I think is his name. He was Wash on Firefly. He's hilarious, and he does a lot of voice acting for Disney. So I'm just thinking of Frozen, the Duke that's from the other kingdom that dances crazy. He voices him. He voices someone in like the old man at the beginning of Moana. He just says funny things. He's a funny guy. So his facial expressions, some of the things he just doesn't understand as an alien in, you know, our society is hilarious. So, and he's assumed the life of a doctor. So not only is he expected to go about life in society, but also he's expected to perform doctor duties, which he has no idea what he's doing. So fun. That, and on, well, it was on HBO for me. I did watch all of Scott and Bailey, which is a British procedural detective show. I like those. I do. So this one is two female detectives and their sergeant or whatever she's called, also a female, and it's just it's a good show. Good plot lines, interesting cases, heavy on the suspect interviews. So I like that. I also kind of found this weird thing on YouTube of criminal interviews, like real live interviews that somehow have been released into the public domain, and it's, anyways, okay, I'm just skipping over that. And then lastly, what have I been reading? Well, I have been reading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So I did his Fireheart, Stormheart, Steelheart. I think that's the name of the series. Whatever that series was. And I feel like that was his first series, and it felt like an action comic book to me. And so my friend started this series, right? And you know, Brandon Sanderson wrote the last couple of books of Wheel of Time, which I've read, and I was not thoroughly impressed with. I mean, he definitely stayed true to form to what Robert Jordan was doing. I have no complaints about that. But by the time you're on book 12 or 13, kind of, it's not fresh and exciting anymore. You know, you're reading it to get to, okay, what's the conclusion? What's the wrap up? What's going to happen to these people? So I wasn't highly motivated to try any of his other works, because he is considered a standout author in the sci-fi fantasy writing community. So my friend started the Stormlight Archives, is what the series is called, and every time I talk to her, she tells me how wonderful they are. And so 6 months later, I'm finally like, okay, fine, I will start it. It's very good. Really good. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that, and just being in the moment, because I know that you never get a first time reading through something. And so enjoying every minute. So I'm kind of slowly like rationing it out and not burning through it the way I want to, but you know, doing a little bit here and a little bit there. So yeah. So the first book is The Way of Kings, and I say it's very good. It is a 5-star so far, in my opinion. So I can hear my chillins, and they are screaming. So I think I'm going to go check on them. We will probably watch an episode of Gummy Bears. Did you watch that show? Gummy Bears and Wuzzles are two that I remember growing up on Saturday morning cartoons, and I had a Wuzzle stuffy thing. It's kind of like a Care Bear. I don't know. I remember really loving Wuzzles. So the Gummy Bears was on for 5 or 6 years on Saturday morning, so there's a lot of them I didn't see. I had outgrown Saturday morning cartoons by that point, but it is fun to go back and listen. And you know, Garfield, right? Garfield and Odie, or Garfield and John, however you want to think about it. The guy that voices Garfield in all the cartoons that I'm aware of after Bill Murray, he does one of the voices in the Gummy Bears, and so that I find completely adorable. And so does Tigger. Tigger's voice is in there. It just brings back memories. And so they're watching it and they're completely enamored with it. So it's fun for me, nostalgia, and, you know. Wait. Oh my God, guys, that's a Disney. I'm not frugal, okay? I'm not. So Sir Tristan is here looking for attention with, what's all over your face?
Ice cream.
No.
Dinner, lunch.
Lunch.
Oh, wait.
Okay, can you leave so I can just do a goodbye?
Wait.
Don't hit the stand. Are you a bird?
Butterfly.
Butterfly. Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You just waved goodbye to them.
Okay. Close the door. So, I just realized I canceled Disney today. The price is going up, and something about even just $1 more for streaming service, there's like, what's the additional cost for? And we've been with Disney since November, so almost 6 months. And I feel like we watched everything we wanted to watch, and I was making the boys get their Disney education, watching Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and Cinderella and, you know, some of these more classic Alice Disney movies that they need to know about, have some frame of reference for trips to Disney. Just makes everything better if you know who all the characters are, in my opinion. So yeah, the price went up and I was like, nope, cancel. So we won't be watching the Gummy Bears after today for a little while, but I did turn Netflix back on. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. 6 months of one, 6 months of the other, because I'm not comfortable paying for more than 2 streaming services. So we have Amazon Prime, which my mother argues is a shipping service, but whatever, it's a streaming platform. And now Netflix. That's where I draw the line. So, yeah. It'll be good though, because Bridgerton, everyone was talking about that. I want to see it. There's a new Pacific Rim cartoon, Pacific Rim Black. My dad was all excited about it. So we are looking forward to binging some of those series this weekend. So that's it for here. I hope you got some knitting done during our little chat together. And I hope to see you back next time. Enjoy everything. Bye.